2020 Pokemon Video Game Championship format rules. Let's take a look at Generation 8 official competitive Pokemon. Tournaments in 2020 VGC will include the following rules. All battles will be double battles played in Pokemon Sword and Shield. This should not be a surprise, even if we're going off of like every VGC being double battles. Going to August when we had the competitive trailer, that was double, and you can see that there's a lot of items and abilities that are made to make double battles more interesting. We have the neutralizing gas on the Galarian Weezing, we have room service, we also have like power spot on the Stonejourner, so yeah, that just makes sense. Also, double battles are a lot more exciting from a competitive standpoint, takes more strategy, it's faster paced. In singles, you get a lot of weird stalls. Either the battle ends instantly, or the battle's going to last 30 minutes. And that's not good for spectating, that's not good for hosting tournaments, so double battles are necessary, and you've had all these years and like over a decade to just learn doubles to play official Pokemon. If you still don't like it, then oh well. Each player will need their own Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch Lite. Makes sense. Pokemon will need to have the Galar symbol, showing they were caught in the Galar region, and that is just no transfer Pokemon. That's been the rule since Generation 6. Makes sense. All Pokemon from the Galar Regional Pokedex will be permitted, except for Mythicals and certain Legendaries. So, I think in the rules it just says number 1 through number 397. So, no Eternatus, no Zacian, no Zamazenta. All the other Pokemon will be usable. All Pokemon will be set to level 50, including Pokemon below level 50. So no level 1 cheese. There's no Smeargle shenanigans going on, but you still don't get like the level 1 Trick Room Mimikyu or anything. All Pokemon just become level 50. Makes it easier for training. That's nice. Duplicate Pokemon not allowed. Duplicate items not allowed. Each battle will have a 90-second team preview phase. So what you have on the battle stadium. And then players will have 7 minutes of your time, 45 seconds of move time, and now returning to VGC, 15-minute game time in each battle. So this is to speed up the pace of tournaments, that each round is now going to be a best of 3. This is because VGC should be played as a best of 3, but things kind of get crazy from here. Like, the rules are incredibly complex for VGC 2020. We aren't just playing a fun little kids game where you show up at VGC and you might become Pokemon champion. No, no, no. There's all kinds of wacky things happening. If you plan on participating in VGC, I recommend downloading the rules, reading them for yourself, making sure you understand everything, because I can't cover it in a video. The video would be like over an hour long to go into all of the little details about it. But here's a little bit of weirdness already. Matches played during Swiss rounds may be best of 1 or best of 3 at the TO's discretion, and it's only strongly recommended that regionals are best of 3. So there could still be like some weird regionals that are going to be best of 1, and then any top cut portion of the event must be run as a best of 3. I think this might be for like non-major regions, like if there's just a random regional in like South America or something and they can't have the venue for like 2 days to have like a longer event, you just do like quick best of 1 Swiss and then you just like do the entire event inside a day. Maybe that's what that's about, but I think this is very strange that there's like, even within regionals, there's inconsistency. You might show up to a best of 1 event, or it might be a best of 3, and that's where the time comes in. There is no round time for VGC. So that's why this is a thing. We have your time returning to make it to where there's less timer stalling for the 15 minutes of game time, but there can still be some heavy timer stalling when it comes to 15 minutes of game time. Like if you still have 4 or 5 minutes of your time and there's only like 5 minutes left, and actually not even that, yeah, so you just play really fast until you get an advantage, and then you can timer stall the opponent out. So this is going to prevent certain setup strategies. This is going to make clock play more important than it should be. Like, if you are at risk of getting timer stalled, then you need to be playing for the clock, or playing to like mitigate clock disadvantage from the beginning of the game, which is kind of awkward, and it's something you need to be wary of. What this means is that each game will play to their full. The expectation is that all matches are allowed to run the course of up to 3 games. No game should be interrupted or terminated before the natural end of game, except exceptional circumstances such as sudden death. To avoid going over the maximum numbers of games playable as set by regulation, players are not permitted to use the live competition to play friendly games during a tournament. So yeah, this is gonna be a thing. Now, I've seen all kinds of VGC timings throughout the years. I don't remember what year had what and what combination specifically, but didn't it used to be like 60 seconds of move time and then 15 minutes of game time? Was there ever a time where it was 10 minutes of game time? I don't remember. There was some weirdness, but now this is what it looks like, and they even mentioned, like, now returning to VGC, it's game time, so we can kind of hold these rules to get faster tournaments, instead of, like, stalling it out, having a sudden death situation. Things get really awkward from there. So, as of January 4th, 2020, you can only use these Gigantamax Pokemon. So, effectively, the event Gigantamax Pokemon that are more likely. Additional restrictions apply to Pokemon that are capable of Gigantamaxing. While such Pokemon are very rare, sometimes opportunities to find them more frequently. So, Butterfree, Corviknight, Dreadnought, Centiskorch, Meowth, Pikachu, Eevee, Snorlax, Sandaconda, and Charizard. So, Charizard, you get that after becoming champion. Meowth, you just connect to the mystery gift and you get that. Pikachu, Eevee, Pokemon Let's Go. And then the other ones are just going to be either version exclusives or the download events. Corviknight, that's going to be Pokemon Sword. Or no, Corviknight's Pokemon Shield. Dreadnought's Pokemon Sword. Centiskorch is Pokemon Shield. Sandaconda's Pokemon Sword. And then Butterfree. So, I guess at least get a competitive one if you think you might be using it, and then I think this is also going to apply to all the other future events, that we're going to keep on having more and more Gigantamax Pokemon being made available. I think they're going to update the rules. So let's say February, they say, hey, now you can get Gigantamax All Creamy, and maybe Gigantamax Hatterene and like some other Gigantamax Pokemon, and then those will probably be usable in VGC. So certain tournaments are going to have certain restrictions on Gigantamax. I'm wondering if by the end of 2020, all of them will have been made available through an event, so they'll all be available for Worlds or something. This is going to be really weird to keep an eye on, but Gigantamax is usable, kinda, in VGC. Now, this still aligns with the Korean rules that Sejun Park posted, because no Gigantamax Pokemon were usable in December, and if there were events that were still played on Pokemon Sword and Shield, that's going to be it, because it says, as of January 4th, 2020, these are going to be the rules. And the weird thing is, you can earn championship points, or you could have earned championship points, by participating in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon events. So you can almost qualify for Pokemon Sword and Shield Worlds automatically, or at least by doing those events, before Pokemon Sword and Shield even became playable or even had VGC. That's some weird stuff. So these are going to be a very active changing kind of rules, and Sejun said, like, these have to be the VGC rules or else they wouldn't award the championship points for them, and that was like kind of yes and kind of no. So like the month of December was just a Battle Stadium doubles was your VGC, but as of January 4th, now these are going to be the new rules. Weird stuff. I do have like some big PSAs as well. Like I said, if I went through everything in these games, or in these rules, we'd be here all day, and it feels like this video is already dragging on. But an active Nintendo Switch Online membership is required for participation in VGC. Like and share this video. Make sure everyone knows this is the case, because you need to perform the online team checks. Now, I don't think this is going to be that big of a deal from a financial standpoint, since it costs like $50 to go into VGC events. We're going to see how much it costs, but it's just been getting more and more expensive. I hope it goes down for Pokemon Sword and Shield, but if you're paying to get in, then paying $2 a month for the online membership isn't that big of a deal, but just make sure it's active. Now, I guess worst case scenario, you show up and they're like, hey, you don't have an online membership. You just sign on to your Nintendo account and then you activate a membership, done just like that. But it's something that you should probably have ready before the event, and it's a big PSA right there. It's a thing. And then we have hack checking. I still think the Pokemon Company needs to crack down harder. If you haven't seen my video about tournament organizers allowing hacking at their events, you should check that out in the description down below. This just kind of reeks of that. What happened was the rules used to be strict, and then I started saying, hey, all of your pro VGC players, the ones you support, they're cheaters, and then they started backing down on the rules. Because if the rules actually cared about competitive integrity, pretty much everyone in the top 32 at Worlds would be banned as a cheater. Wolf Glick uses illegal Pokemon. Ray Rizzo uses illegal Pokemon. We had the 2016 Senior Division World Champion. We had the 2016 Nationals Junior Division Champion. Tons of juniors have been caught, and also some of them disqualified as cheaters. We had the 2018 VGC Champion. He used hacked Pokemon, so you would pretty much lose the entire competitive scene, but I think that needs to happen. Like, you need to cut it off at some point. If you are doing a Dexit, you need to do a VGC player exit. I don't know. it doesn't fit as well. But either way, so I still have a big problem with the manual team checking. There's some good things inside of here, like any Pokemon containing a ball which cannot be found through normal gameplay. So Ray, Rizzo, Wolf, Glick use illegal Pokemon by the rules. And then, but unfortunately now it's like even weirder in Pokemon Sword and Shield, because Dream Ball is obtainable as an item. So there's no real like Dream Ball restrictions anymore, and just kind of like Master Ball, Cherish Ball, Hatched Egg, because those never pass down. And I guess like starter Pokemon, since you still can't catch those. So starter Pokemon in a non-Pokeball, that should be an example. And another thing I've had, like the manual team checking has been so inconsistent. Throughout the entirety of Generation 7, it was not correct. Or there was always something wrong with it until they changed it, and then an update would happen, and then they'd update it, and it'd be wrong. Like, every time they updated the rules, they were wrong about manual hat checking. Illegal Pokemon would be seen as legal. Legal Pokemon would be seen as illegal. It was a joke. So I don't trust this. Like, if a tournament organizer that doesn't know anything about the game sees this, they're not going to know what exactly to punish. They could see a Dream Ball, I don't know, Cinderace. I was trying to think of like a random starter Pokemon. They'll see Dream Ball Cinderace, they'll be like, well, it's not in the manual hat check, so I guess it's okay, when it isn't possible. Any Pokemon that is shiny, which can have the shiny variant not found through normal gameplay or official promotions. So this gives you a game loss, and that Pokemon is removed from your team. And then if you lose too many Pokemon, then you're disqualified. But then we have the severe. Any Pokemon with an attack, ability, nature, or other attribute that results in potential competitive advantage that cannot be obtained through normal gameplay or official promotions. I think there needs to be a list of, like, unavailable hidden abilities until transfer, and also just unavailable. Like, some hidden abilities are not available in the game at all. Some are only available through transfer, so we should have that official list. But the Pokemon Company has gotten so condoning of cheating that they don't even know what is legitimate anymore, and that's proven by my VGC tournament organizer supporting hacking video. That it's just a complete mess right now, that they choose to defend cheaters instead of making the scene fair for everyone. So that is a really big problem. And then like that gap between January 4th and Pokemon Home, unless Pokemon Home comes out on January 4th, there's still going to be very large discrepancies at events, and I think a lot of illegal Pokemon aren't going to be punished until it's too late, if they get punished at all. It's going to be tricky, and I wonder if like the manual or the automatic hack check can even determine that, because it's so sketchy right now. Like, even though Pimp Knight has been confirmed to be a hacker for a long time now, which severely devalues the content of his video. He rigs a battle and then he cheats in Pokemon. That's not an epic sweep in my eyes. So he used a simple Swoobat, which is not available right now, only through transfer. So unless the electronic hack checking is really good, I'm not holding my breath. Now, I do think this means that it's going to be a little harder to cheat, because Nintendo Switch and the games are more expensive. So to have, like, a device where you're cheating Pokemon transfer into a legitimate save, but still illegitimate cheated Pokemon, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, and it's not going to be like the 3DS era. People were bringing modified 3DS to the events and not getting caught. So since this connects online, I'm hoping, and you need the membership, I'm hoping you'll be able to detect a modified Switch or save file with better accuracy than Pokemon Sun and Moon. So now let's take a look at the team errors. I'm thinking there's a lot of important information here, and it kind of flows with the hack checking and stuff. So here's another thing, a bit of language I don't like inside the rules. So the rules have always stated, modified items, hacked in items or Pokemon, you know, let's go and find it, because people still, like, don't believe me when I say that you're not allowed to modify Pokemon in any way. Use of external devices, such as a mobile app, to modify or create items in a Pokemon player's battle team is expressly forbidden, and it even says, like, items only obtained in-game or officially are allowed. That's, like, rule 2 point or 1 point something. So, yeah, any edited Pokemon are not allowed, and you may receive a disqualification. You say you will be disqualified, and it says you are responsible for your Pokemon, regardless whether those Pokemon or items belong to that player or were traded for. That's it. Like, this should be the end of it. This should be that if there's any discrepancy in your Pokemon that suggests that it's modified in any way, you're disqualified. That if you say you got it from your friend, you're not allowed to play stupid. You are gone. It's in the rules that if you don't trust it, or if you're getting it from a dubious source, then it still counts as a cheated Pokemon. So you should either get everything yourself, or you should only have the most trusted people that you're working with to, like, kind of exchange Pokemon for in a competitive way. This rule still exists, but it's become a joke. It used to say you will be disqualified. Now it says may be disqualified. it's just corruption. We've been on this VGC corruption for years, and it looks like nothing has changed. So this no potential competitive advantage language, it's nonsense. Time is a competitive advantage when it's gained through breaking the rules, but not if you ask Wolf Glick. Not if you ask other people that have been caught cheating in the past. A lot of the top VGC players, tournament organizers, Cybertron was probably involved with this one as well. But I mean, some of these do make sense. Like, this is a warning because you say Ruby Cream All Creamy is listed when you actually have a Matcha Cream All Creamy. So if you're using All Creamy, make sure you have the correct form, or All Creamy is listed but no form is specified. You need to know the form of your All Creamy. A genderless Pokemon is listed as male or female on the team list. It's like just weird stuff that doesn't matter. And then we have the ones that have a potential competitive advantage. Rotom is listed on the team list when you're using Wash Rotom. Mr. Mime is listed on the team list when Galarian is Mr. Mime is used, but you don't have any ability listed, which can also be a minor if you have Screen Cleaner listed, but you don't have it specified as Galarian Mr. Mime. A lot of weird things going on. Now, a major one is a game loss. So this kind of like deception or inaccuracy is a game loss. Like, I understand this being a game loss. This is fair as a game loss, but then this. A Pokemon on the player's team that also appears in Section 1 of the manual team checking appendix. No, that should be disqualification. Oh well, Pokemon, they don't care about cheating anymore. A move is listed as Thunder on the team list when the move known by the Pokemon is actually Thunder Wave. So just kind of like slips like that. A Pokemon stat not listed or is listed incorrectly on team list. Stuff like that. So yeah, and then disqualification, severe, player has fewer usable Pokemon, section 2. Any indication via official tools that a Pokemon has been illegally manipulated, such as a player's team failing an electronic team check. Now, this is good, because this happened to the 2016 Senior Division World Champion. So the Senior World Champion turned out to be a hacker in the format that also had all legendary Pokemon available, 2016 and 2019. I think his Kyogre got caught and he was disqualified from an event. So this rule right here completely debunks the idiots that say, well, if it has possible stats and moves, then it's not cheated. Wrong. That people that have a modified Pokemon, even if it is possible, if it's sloppily made, even though it doesn't give a quote-unquote a competitive advantage, it can still be detected, and that has gotten players disqualified in the past. So I really like this, but I think there's also a lot of weasel words and stuff to protect players like Wolf Glick and a lot of other top players that have been caught hacking in VGC. So I think that's kind of the end of it. I wish it was more strict. Like, Pokemon just seems to be the most lax, cheating, competitive game ever. This is why Pokemon will never be taken seriously. This is why Pokemon's not an esport. Pokemon Company is still incredibly corrupt. Tournament organizers, they haven't gotten any better. I think there has to be like some kind of language barrier or something between like Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, and the Pokemon Company International. Like, does Game Freak understand how much hacking is going on? I don't think Junichi Masuda has seen my video where it's like, hey, Wolf Glick is a cheater, 2018 player, all of these other things. Like, all you have to do is just go down the rabbit hole, and you can find these people are just hacking Pokemon for each other. But then you lose your poster child. Then you lose like all of your main players. But I think that needs to happen. You know, ban them all for a year. And then try again, and then just like see what it looks like when we actually have strict rules and a lot of legitimacy in the game. But that's the thing, and like I said, if you want to participate in VGC, there's way too much going on here. You need to make sure you are completely understanding of the rules so you don't have any penalties, or so that you have like a smooth VGC event if you want to attend in the first place. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.